Testing? Testing? Hi! Good day! Okay, I think I am live now. I'm playing some Sid Meier Civilization 3 multiplayer. I have... What are the teams? I did not consent to Ceton. I was setting up stream when you were in second lobby. Why did you host Ceton? I do not consent to Ceton. I will leave if you all know I dislike Ceton, and I did not consent to Ceton. Fine, we'll stream a different game if you insist on. So anyways, I think that I'm going to switch over to some Civ content. I thought that we were doing Civ III Fut with teams. Apparently they did Ceton without my knowledge or consent. So I am going to play a better mod. Okay, long story short, everyone knows I hate Ceton because the people make a big deal about not talking to other people in the game, and that just takes away from the fun aspect of multiplayer. And so if we're gonna do Ceton, I'd rather just play single player, to be honest. I much prefer, like, if I'm going to be playing a Civ game, it's like I want the social interaction aspect. I do not like Ceton. If I'm doing multiplayer, I want a game where I can hang out and play with other people. So I think I am going to do, let's see, I'm trying to find a small scenario. There are a lot of scenarios that come with Sid Meier Civilization 3 that work great for single player and are shorter than the base game. I'm just trying to figure out, okay, which one do I want to play? Islands looks fun, but I'm really looking for something with a map size of smaller than 100 times 100. I would prefer to play something... Okay, Skull Island's actually a fun one. This has a map size of 80 times 80, and it's essentially rushing to map making to try and get galleons real quick. So I think I will... Okay, it looks like we are doing... Okay, Lib invited me to another lobby, so I hope... Okay. You all know I don't like Ceton. Why did you host a Ceton when I was setting up the stream? Would have started a single player Skull Island. Doing Ceton. I was figuring out stream settings. You all get mad at me if I don't check in right away, so that is why I checked in. I'm sorry, sometimes the Civ people are very impatient and unreasonable, and the community puts up with it because there are only so many people who play Civ multiplayer, for better or for worse, and so there tends to be a lot of drama that people just have to deal with to play games, which it is what it is. I don't play Cetons. You all know this. You all get... Sorry. Sometimes, I don't want to say all, sometimes people get mad at me if I don't check. I was setting up stream, which is why I had checked. So that y'all wouldn't get mad and kick me. What are teams? Okay. Anything is fine. I'm sorry else streaming is Hardrado or Suedes. Okay, I think for Fut, you go Anarchy turn 1, and the majority of games, and you kind of want to grow, you want to plant your cap in a city where you can grow. You really want to have, like, good food tiles. I don't care, as long as it's a team where... a game where people don't get mad at me for talking, then I am fine with whatever teams you prefer. So yeah, I do not like Citan because people tend to get irritated if I, what's the word? If it's like if I try and communicate about either the game or anything, it's like they get annoyed. And so it's like I don't like Citan. It's like if I wanted to play a Civ game where I don't have, like, where I'm not talking to people, I would play single player. So I prefer team games. In all honesty, I much prefer team games. Uh, it's like I do not like Citan. I detest the game mode. So Citan is like this game where it's everyone against each other, and it's not my cup of tea. I don't really even honestly, I don't even like the competitive aspect of Civ. I much prefer like games where I prefer the culture build type games. I really love the big old single player games that take like 8 hours, 16 hours, 30 hours, 50 hours just to like plant a ton of settlers and to build a ton of cities all over the map. It's just so much fun. I love it so much. Um, it's just such a fun gaming experience. I love just like the slowly building up the culture, and like the teching, like the tech tree. You're slowly advancing your civilization through time, and I love that. I love single player, the long Civ games that some people don't like a lot, and a lot of times people just do not have time for those games, and it would probably be a boring stream to watch me play like one of the long traditional Civ 3 games. Um, so it's like people play mods like Fut, which is a future start game, because they're actually doable for multiplayer. Like people can finish a game in like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, etc. And so it's a much more manageable sort of chunk for people who have lives. People just going through and doing stuff. Um, yeah, so I definitely prefer uh like the team. Wait, sorry. Yeah, I do prefer if, like I do like the team aspect, and it's like I get why people prefer the shorter game modes is what I'm saying. I do prefer these, I think, a lot of time for multiplayer simply because it's easier to get more people playing them. I actually, like, my favorite multiplayer game mode would have to be, like, Bot Smash against the AI, where it's, like, a bunch of people on one team from the ancient era, like, ancient start, going all the way up into, like, the modern era, um, and against the AI. Like, it's just such a fun team building team game. But it's extremely difficult to like find anyone to play those with because people just don't have the time for that sort of game. Um, and then finding people who are online long enough, like at the same time as you are, who want to play that game. It's very niche sort of game. It's very difficult to get like bot smash games. That someone's not ending turns. So this game has like a turn timer in the upper right hand corner. Or at least the multiplayer mode of the game can. And we have like a turn timer turn on, which means that typically speaking, there's only so much time in a turn, but if everyone hits enter and makes the little tilde disappear up here in this upper right-hand corner, you can end up with the turns going quicker, which is typically a good thing to do in the early game. Oh dear. I actually wanted an explorer. I messed that up. We are a republic, which is good. Okay. Libertarian sometimes likes to troll. And Mr. Bob Backlund kind of has a reputation for being very good at getting good things from goody huts. And goody huts are these little circle things that can appear on the map. And sometimes they can give you good things like settlers or gold. And sometimes they can do bad things depending on what unit you collect the goody hut with. If you get an explorer, it won't give you barbarians, but if you pop a goody hut with your king and you're not an expansionist civilization, which is called like a civ trait, you can have barbarians appear, and the barbarians, they will like capture your worker and stuff, and they will sometimes pillage your tiles, so you don't want to pop barbs, especially in the early game before you get military units. Once you get military units out, it's really not as big of a problem, because the military units, at, like at this point, since this is future start, they are quite tough. They will almost always win against barbs. But in base game, like if you're ancient start or any of the ancient start type of games, usually warriors are relatively cheap, but they do have a much higher chance of losing against barbarians compared to like a toe infantry or whatever. Yeah, and I was checking to make sure that my civilization wasn't, my cap wasn't gonna riot. And your cap can riot if you have more unhappy people compared to happy people. And right now, my only citizen is content, and content citizens are essentially neutral. Okay, let me move you here. Oh, nice. Where do I want this? So tough because it's like I like the idea of having it on a river, but I don't want to be one off coast. This is so tough. Yeah, I want here just for the bonus food. Even though like the strategic location of the city is really quite awful. It is really an awful city location. Sit Perez and okay. Okay, I didn't want to say that to Bob directly because I didn't want to sound dumb. Like I didn't want to sound dumb. So, okay, I see. Okay. Phyllis and Nice! That is good news. Do you think you will be able to reach his king before he reaches draft size? Okay, so with Fut, it is usually played on this mode called Regicide, where you have king units, and if your king unit dies, then like your civilization dies. So you can win games by eliminating all of the enemy people's kings essentially. Um, usually like Fut is different than base game because like we don't have like the cultural victory options, the space race victory options usually in like Fut, unfortunately. So it's a very battle heavy sort of a very battle heavy sort of mod. Um Honestly, I really like it. Oh dear, I don't want to talk to you, Theodora. Please stop contacting me start of turn. I'm probably gonna stuck being contacted by her start of turn until such a time as we are at war. Because the AI likes to talk, to contact other people, to trade and stuff. Okay. Okay, I apparently do not have contact with him, so I can't send him gold. Ah, Theodora is very annoyed at me, probably because I don't want to trade with her. My apologies, I do not seem to have contact with your civilization. I mean, typically it's a very good idea if you have contact with the other person in your team and they're asking for gold, you typically give it to them as long as you're able to. Oh dear. Yeah, I probably have not been managing my cap correctly. I have been trying to talk about explain game mechanics instead of making sure that Seoul grows. Okay, I need to irrigate this tile. Horses I don't think give bonus food in base game, but in this particular mod they do give like an extra food or something. So the reason it's getting 4 instead of 3 is because the horse gives another food. And then the irrigation on grassland gives an extra food. So that's why this one's 3, this one's 2, and if I was working this tile it would be sorry. This is 3 food. This is 4 food. If I was working this tile, it would be like 2 food. And so that's why I want my citizenry working like this tile, this tile, this tile, because it gives the most food. And I need to go do this. I need to turn up the happiness slider or the luxury slider, so that way I have more, like I need to have a happy citizen for every unhappy citizen I have, so that way my city doesn't riot. And when your city riots, it makes it so it like doesn't produce stuff that turn. So like if you like you won't get shields towards your granary, or you won't get shields towards like your hawacha or your frigate or your galleon. I apologize if my pronunciation of a lot of civilization names or cultural specific buildings or units isn't necessarily the greatest. Oh dear. I'm very sorry to hear if Bob does not have the greatest land. That would be very unfortunate. Oh, that's true. Oasis those are really good in this. Oh, yeah, I really need to get a worker up there. Okay. And I apologize if I'm having trouble like seeing the chat. I like my screen resolution is a little bit wonky, and so I had to go actually open Twitch to see if there's any stream chat at all, because the little um I guess module that would typically appear in Streamlabs itself is like not visible because my screen resolution is so odd. And Civ tends to like I could play it at a different screen resolution probably, but this setting is what I find most like immersive in the actual game itself. Okay, Seal built a worker. This is lovely. Okay, I probably should not be building too many workers at this point. But I do kind of want to try and get that area roaded. Okay, maybe I should actually be doing more. I need to grow because if I am only size 3 and someone else is like size 5, that means I am way behind. Thank you for the heads up. Here. I don't have the gold to rush things. I guess I will try and like get a frigate out of Seal. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if I chop the force down, I think that gives a certain amount of shields, which will help create the frigate faster than if I didn't. Okay, I'm in danger of losing heal though. And for some reason, my citizenry, like, they want to work the volcano because it has a lot of shields, I think, but I actually want them working the tile that has, like, more food. Yeah, I also need to get the frigate out, or some sort of ship out, so that way I can get contact with my other teammates, who probably said what location on the map they're at, but which I did not do as good of a job as I ought to have of correctly remembering. That is a downside. Yeah, I'm realizing that Pyongyang isn't a place where it would be easy to land it, and so there's a decent chance that it will, depending on where the Vikings are, that it may end up with a unit just like mysteriously showing up on this side of the coast or this side of the coast end of turn, and then I do not have the gold or units to properly defend it yet. Okay, this will have the frigate and not too long. Okay, I need to turn up this thing, the luxury slash happiness slider again, because my people like are quite unhappy. And I think it's like the gold tiles determines like that's what's making the people more happy with the happiness slider. So if you don't have a lot of gold tiles that are being worked in your city, then your people may still be unhappy even with a high happiness slider. So like my frigate, because I'm working on the volcano, which has shields instead of gold to make my frigate appear faster. Um, that's where it's like I'm not getting a lot of gold from that tile. So I needed to turn the happiness slider up to compensate for that. Okay, and I can press like the W key for wait. So that way if I want to come back to at a later point in my turn to a unit, I can do that. Okay, no one's working on a settler. So okay. 25 gold, that's good. Time soon, I think. Going a granary here is very risky because on one hand, it's like I probably should be doing stealth. Oh, stealth bomber. So, Kim Pyongyang, on one hand, I kind of want to just grow it up, grow the city up, because if it gets good enough growth quickly enough, if I remember correctly, it can go ahead and just get up to draft size on its own. Okay, I want to go wartime so that way I get more. So I get a bonus of like an extra, so many extra shields or something, when I'm wartime. So that's why I am trying to go wartime. Floor is quite far from there. I well, okay. I is quite close to Constantinople. Oh. So I apologize if it's a little bit difficult to hear me through this mic. This one tends to have issues with my voice for some reason tends to pick up better, like just recording videos a little ways away from the cell phone than it does like being picked up by this normal run-of-the-mill like microphone headset thing. Like I tend to... Oh, apparently Portugal refused my envoy. Okay. Oh. It says you refused our envoy. Okay. Yeah, if he's dealing with unit or combat or something, like, that's probably more important than getting the diplomacy stuff to go through. Oh, it's like, that'll be turn 19. You'll have a turn 1980 stealth bomber? I mean, technically, I guess it would be turn 19 if we count turn, like, 0. It's turn 0 instead of turn 1. But yeah. I think it starts at, like, 1080 or something. That is excellent. At least I assume it's pretty good. What do I want to build here? None of these things are... Oh, this. We want military academy, I think. To work that tile. Pyongyang needs some workers and stuff at it. Oh dear. Nice job. Oh, if he doesn't have a draft unit on top of it, typically like if that's why Liv is calling the king a naked king, because it doesn't have units on top of it. So that's what that means. It's like a Civilization 3 specific terminology. Okay, and I'm doing military academy in Cap. Oh, and there is, I believe it's called a hotkey, where if you press H, it'll hover over your capital. Then I'm going to offer him the gold because he will probably need it. Like, he is somewhere where he's dealing with active combat, apparently. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is close to the president. I don't remember if he has a different nickname or not. Like, so, that would be the Vikings over here. I kind of want to do a worker here. Simply because I'm trying to connect this city over here. Okay, and then I do want to switch this back to, for instance, a tow infantry, just to get more shields that way, and then I switch it over to a different, if I'm doing something that doesn't get the wartime bonus, then I'd do like the tow infantry for turn, then a harbor, closer to when it's ready to be completed. How did I not realize that there was rubber there before? Rubber is a very useful resource in like these later Fut Start type games. It's like, I feel like what I want to do is a barracks, then some tow. Like, to put, like, some 4 HP units to put in the army. So I need to switch this back over to a tow infantry, actually. Actually, maybe I should be pre-building an army. Oh, that's right. Military Academy, actually, if I remember correctly, it's not super useful until you get to 3 cities, because you need like 3 cities for every army. I kind of want another city like over here, but then I'm still constantly like one off the coast. But I want to be on the river. I want to be connecting my existing cities. I should be building another explorer. I have terrible like vision of my land. I do need to do another explorer shortly. Okay. Wait, if the France is below Lib, but Lib is he is the German civilization, and he is up in like B8-ish, and directly south of that is the Vikings, who are also in like C8, and then it's Bob in like D8. So would that be all the way down here? Or maybe he's referring to a different location, or I must be like misreading. I'm sorry, my apologies. I am most likely very much so misinterpreting. Okay. Okay, let me go here. That's right. Fortunately, it'll be a veteran tow. Oh! Wait, that's... What city is that? The desert there. Maybe it was like an auto pop that someone could have disbanded just because it's such a... Or... Okay. Or it could be that it was close to a clown. I think... I'm not 100% sure what his preferred nickname is because it's... I think PIG there might be like the word of like a clan essentially. Like, or... I can't quite remember how those work, but I think that like there are things like Nuki or Nuba that are like clan names essentially in the game. So PIG might be like his clan name. So Clown World? I think he used to go by Clown Knight though. I'm not 100% sure what he changed that. Sometimes people will change their names sometimes. Or like yeah, oh dear. There's been a lot of stories, I guess the nicest way to put it. There's been a lot of drama, in all honesty, within the community. I remember there was at one point some situation where someone who, I, oh, Portugal, um, there was some, there have been actually a lot of situations. There have been a lot of situations. I don't want to go into details. Um, why is this growth in two turn? Oh, because that's a desert and not a floodplain. Yeah, I kind of want to do like maybe a toe here. Wait, what do you mean I didn't have a... I thought I had a barracks. That was not great. So I have a 3 HP toe. Oh dear. Okay, that makes sense. It's probably a good idea. Nice. Okay, so I need to be fine, not there, up here. Oh, that is indirectly. Yeah, that is indirectly south of Ablip. It's... That's right. It kind of like the map goes around like horizontally. So carrier out next turn. That is excellent. I don't want a city like maybe right here. Why is he laughing? I think that's good. I think that's good. Trade. I need to be doing some workers in this area. Are the enemies like just ignoring me? I don't think I've seen the Perez or Clown like land anything on my area. But then again, I have absolutely terrible scouting. So I need to just go here and... Oh! That is actually... I do have enough shields to do that in one turn now. I think I will do that. And then it's gonna die to a barbarian right away. Yeah, I think I definitely need to just go ahead and do another explorer. Okay. Brigade? Go there. Clown is riding something north. I do not have good vision up there. And of course, Pyongyang is not on the coast. This is what I get for planting like one off coast. Maybe I can plant a city like down here, maybe down here. Get a coastal city out. Guess I'll work on it too. Okay. Okay. So out of war is how you get out of war type, and the reason that people are in wartime a lot of the time is because they get more shields if they're working on units. But you can't build like certain cultural buildings if you are in wartime. So things like temples, libraries, marketplaces, and I think like aqueducts and granaries even. Oh, thank you. Okay, aluminum is down there. Where is the uranium? Where is it? Okay. Good job. That is excellent. Okay, I wanted more like coastal cities. How far is this away from like the settler? Okay, I don't think it's... I'll have to do a tow for like another turn. I am still 2 shields short, but I don't think I can actually get that many. And if you'll notice, even though it'll say like 1 turn because it's like not a unit, it doesn't get the wartime bonus. So that's why I switched back to a tow instead of the settler. Or like it's a unit but not, like you can walk it across the board, but it doesn't count as like whatever military unit requirements it has. I think I'll let wanted out of war this turn. And then, oh, right as I say that. Okay. Take the gold. I mean, I figure since he's up here and near here and here, that he needs gold way more than I do. Okay, and Pyongyang, let's see. I definitely want something that'll give border expand. So library, feel, honestly, I would like a temple or something. Do a temple here. Munson could probably use like a greenery, if possible. Nice. Okay, probably. Why am I lagging? Got that, so yeah, there are a bunch of other buildings that I could probably use, but I kind of want to go back wartime. Just a matter of how, do I want to get the granary there beforehand or not? Nice job. Yeah, I think I do want to get that. In which case, I probably want to do like a worker out of the city, another worker. Then I'll go wartime whenever I guess the granary in Wanson is done. That's a lovely thing to admit to on stream. It's not very nice to bully. Don't be a bully to for clown or for press. You can wreck them, but because they're in the other team, but you don't be a bully to them. Nice. Worker there. Yeah, I need to hook the aluminum. I'm not being a very good teammate by not hooking the aluminum. Oh, that's the uranium. Okay, up there. Okay, I'm going back here and changing my stuff over to Tau Infantry. Count to... Oh, oil! There's oil down by Bob. There's an oil stuff. This, by the way. Well, I had outdated maps, so that is why I did not know. Border expand in winter, that will be lovely. I feel like this is actually going to be a wonderful city. Yeah, his stealth bomber is not doing very well this game apparently. One thing to remember or to know about Lib is that he is has a reputation of having notoriously bad RNG. I don't know if it's that he actually does or if he just complains about it more than other people, and so now people associate it like him with having bad RNG, I think. At least I do. Like I remember there was like one game where like he sent like three tow units or something at like one king and his units all lost. It was funny. Excellent. I am glad to hear that your stealth bomber worked this time. You should probably be working on like an army. Okay, I definitely want to make sure that I'm still getting like one growth per turn, ideally. That would be helpful. Where is this? Okay. Do I want this, I guess, do I want a road or do I want like... I guess I will do that simply because I want like irrigated first, essentially. So that way I'm still getting like good food in addition to the bonus. I know that a lot of people prefer to have the like good shield tiles, but I tend to prefer like I prefer to have the once per turn growth, and I like I even still do like that when we're like size. Like I like to have that even when I'm like a bigger size empire. Like I like it when my cities grow big. So um yeah, the shields are really good, but I do think that this particular city still needs a bit more food. Because it's not one per turn even with a granary, so it needs more food. No, I actually do not want a regular tow. I want an army. So I needed to remember to switch that. Nice. Oh, that is such a Bob strat. Like he's always doing clever things. Like he frequently does clever things with explorers and galleons and stuff that other people don't necessarily think to do, or if they do think to try them, don't always effectively utilize. Guess I'll just leave that there so that way I don't accidentally run into his unit. I don't think I have anything here that can actually give me culture. I guess we're working on like a tow infantry. It's useful. That's useful. I also need to get a harbor in one of these cities. Maybe offshore. I might do an offshore platform there. I'm super not doing enough military, but I'm this greedy, I suppose, simply because I'm pretty sure that my teammates have the enemies dealt with. So they're probably not going to bother going after me as much. It's not very nice of you. Lupberger is another Civ player, but I think he is unavailable tonight. Normally, I think he tends to enjoy playing Future. How? How does he? I don't quite understand how he manages. Like, I am not entirely sure if I understand like all the ways that Bob manages to utilize explorers and galleons so effectively. Uh, Normally people do not get 5 settlers from Goody Huts or anything like that. Like normally people don't get nearly that number, and so oh dear, there are warriors up by Lagos. There's a bar camp somewhat by Lagos. Anyway. I don't know if that's useful information for him to have. He probably doesn't particularly care. Wants to not. Oh, wants to needs an aqueduct. Which is a shame. This is what I get for not planting directly on a river. Can I build roads on volcanoes? I don't think I can. I don't think I can, but I'm double checking because I'm not 100% certain. Thank you. Now this would be a city to put like that's a good city. The problem, of course, is that it's not on the coast. Oh dear. It's like, where do I want this next city? Maybe here? Okay, that's not a good spot. I want something coastal, but I also want these cows, so I'd almost have to go here. I must want one here. Oh, that's right. I am out of war right now. I switch this over to a hospital. It's having destroyers bad because it means France has oil. A wartime next turn anyway. I need to get some sort of harbor, one of these cities or an airport or something, because what am I gonna do with, like, just aluminum? Like, I'd be better off trading that to someone on my team. Okay, Liv already has aluminum, but... But not? He might not. I'm in a city right there. Apparently, oh, I'm second in MFG. So that means I'm still doing okay. Despite the fact that I have like no research labs or factories or anything that would be like making my like what's the word? Like coal plants or things like that. Wow. Yeah, I messed up there. I should have in this particular because it's working shields that are sorry, tiles that have more shields but less food. I could have like grown that city probably a turn sooner than I am going to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finally do a harbor there. Apparently, despite having aluminum, I don't really have great units, so I guess I'll put that one in the army. Do I get special forces if I get the rubber hooked? I think it might be rubber and aluminum for that, but I'm not 100% certain. That might be a good idea. I'm gonna say it that it is a good idea with confidence in the hopes that it is. There's uranium there, which I need to prioritize hooking. That's good. Well, the golden age is good because that like gives you more. I think it's shield and commerce, so that's very very helpful. Guess I'll go a tow infantry there, but what I really need to do is do a settler, put a settler over there. I really need to be doing more settlers than I'm doing. Probably needs to go over here to irrigate. Well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that drafted tow as well as that settler and probably put a city over here because that's that. City, my king. People might assume that I'm keeping it in the cap. So I might actually want to move it, but the cap is probably the hardest city of mine to reach. Okay. That'll work then. Please tell me I pressed R and not E. I do not like it when I accidentally send my workers to explore instead of to road. Sabab says I've been memeing him this whole game. That's what you laughing at now, smiley face. Aw. Yeah, I'm not being very helpful. I should be doing more. Like, I'm just like build fest over here. It's like, other than the time that I went to war with the Theodore of the Byzantines. Yeah, I want the city here, I think. I kind of want a city here with maybe like a radar tower here. How am I like 2 in MFG goods despite like I don't have like factories anywhere. Like I should not be that many shields compared to other people. It doesn't make sense unless everyone else is like war torn. Which maybe they are. I guess should I continue doing 2 infantry? I almost maybe I should do like intelligence agency or battlefield medicine. Nice job. That is good. He is, what's the word I'm looking for? Like carrying for the team, in that I think he's doing a lot of the aggressive game-winning moves. Certain. Because if one player is more likely to play on if their teammate dies, it might make more sense to go after that player. Yeah. might be another 2 infantry there. I really need to get that uranium down there. My 2 armies down here not doing anything. Because I don't have, like... Do I even have a single galleon? This is where I'm playing badly. Like, I'm not building the... Like, what I really need to do is get, like, a galleon out to go find oil. Because without oil, like, galleons are kind of at risk of being sunk quite easily. So, like, what I really need are, like, destroyers to scout and stuff. Yeah, that tile definitely means mines. Oh, I might actually have enough for a second like enough cities for a second army. Because I have like 3 cities, 3 cities up here by Pyongyang. I have Nampo and Jeju. And then down here I have Seoul, Busan, Wonsan. New King Clan Cap next turn. What? Confound it. Confound it. I wanted to I really was hoping to see Lib nuke the people. I guess I might try and check auto saves. So in this case, I will probably turn that off for a little bit because I have to restart the game because it's like having issues. And since they GG'd, I think I am going to go ahead and check saves. So that would be multiplayer, hot seat. Sorry. Standard, load game, auto, West 1049. Let's see if this is the right one. Okay. That's the hot seat. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see if this is correct. Hot seat, load game, turn timer, none. Yeah, this looks right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check saves. So first of all, I have Rotarian, who has... Berlin has 66 shields per turn. That is really quite good. That's really good, honestly. How did he get that? Okay, he has Palace, Barracks, Granary, Marketplace, Library, Bank, Factory, okay, and coal... Oh, okay, he went for both Factory and coal plant. and he has like tactical nuke like every 2 turns. Okay, he is isn't he in Golden Age? He might still be in Golden Age. And he has uranium, aluminum, rubber, oil, coal, and horses. So he has like basically the only thing he is missing in this circumstance is it iron? Yes, it's iron. He's missing iron for rails. Like that's the only thing I see that I'm like, okay, he would be even better off if he had that. Would be railroads. Because those would give him even more shields. And Lib has a tendency not to correctly take care of all the barbarians, unfortunately, sometimes. So him having the mech infantries down here to deal with the barbs is excellent, significantly better than he sometimes does. Okay. Okay, carrier fighter, carrier destroyer. Okay, and his explorer is down here. Sorry, the explorer is seeing his units. So over here we have plains rubber, so that's where his uranium is. And then this is like connected in a very snaky way. It's like from here all the way to here. So he is on the same landmass as the press. Okay. Go ahead and just check his other cities. So Leipzig has not very good growth, but it has really good like in terms of shields. Because of the oil and the aluminum. But I would say that it's like one of those cities where it's tough. Because it's 0 growth right now. So it's like for it to be a city that isn't like starving. If it were bigger, it would need like harbor, a border expand to to utilize more of the like coastal tiles. Like it's kind of the main drawback of this city is that it doesn't have a lot of growth, but it has amazing shields. Hamburg, okay, I like this. Granary, aqueduct, so it's a good city for growth. And then the harbor and offshore with that many coastal tiles is really, this is a good city. This is a good city, and then really good in terms of, because it's on not just one coast, it's on like this, it bridges this area, so it could send boats out this way through it, this way through it. Like, it's like, is it a canal city? It's just really, I love that city placement. I like it. And then Königsberg, it's one of those where it's a very smushed / cramped city. Maybe, like, was it for culture or something? And it's good to have that other harbor city out, but just because it's so cramped in terms of it doesn't have very many grassland tiles that can work, it's maybe not the most productive city. Okay, Frankfurt, I like this because it's another, like, bridging 2 sides of water city. I love that about it. And he is utilizing the flat tiles, and for instance, this has the tobacco there, this has mines and stuff. Like, this would be a really good city, even with how cramped it is upon border expand, simply because you do have more of these flat tiles you can deal with, and then you've got like the hill and stuff. Like, I think that's a good city. See, are there any others that I have not checked? Berlin, let's see. Oh, there's this whole like island over here that wasn't dealt with. I'm gonna just W through the units to see if there's anything major that I'm missing here. And then I think technically he has stuff set up to Okay, this was me. And we already know kind of what all I had. So I'm gonna go check Bob's. Okay, Lisbon's good. 28 per turn. Like, it's size 12. So, oh! Let's just go here and look and see the fact that his cap is very heavily plains, like, and desert, and it's just, that is not the most fun land. It is not the most fun land. And so the fact that he got all the way up to size 12 with that, it's one of those cities where it's like, yeah, it's not as many shields as Liv's cap, but considering what he had to work with, this is awesome. Okay, Barracks, Granary, Coliseum. Okay, okay, he has factory. Now I understand kind of more how I had like so much MFD. It's because Bob got stuck, like he got stuck with really bad land. Okay, research lab, like because he has like both factory and research lab and he has 28 per turn. I was like 28 per turn, that's good. But then when I realized that it's like, okay, that's with both factory and research lab, I'm just like, you got stuck with really bad land and I am sorry. Okay, shore, platform, harbor, that's a great choice because that does give you the slightly more versatility, because if he's working the irrigated plains, that's 2 food, 1 shield, 2 gold, but he gets an extra gold if he's working these tiles here. So with the way his land was with like no rivers, he played best that time. He played better than I would have with that. Military academy, okay, that's smart. Okay. Oh, he only has saltpeter hooked here. I should have been smart and asked if he wanted any res. I was not the best teammate. He must have had a third city at one point, because you can only... Oh, well, he does have a third city. He has Emerita down here. Because if I remember right, you have to have like 3 cities to build an army, so... Emerita has... Does Emerita have anything? Okay, it looks like it's mostly just a good city and a city that you can send boats through to save a little bit on movement points. Like, it doesn't look like there are any res connected to it. And then I think his other city is Lagos, which is quite, like, my thoughts on this are it's got a lot of jungle. It's not a fun location to have to deal with simply because of all the jungle. Like, it's a city where it's like, if it had border expand, it'd be an awesome city. But I think it's one of those situations where it's like, based off of where his cap was, it's like, he might not necessarily have the most ideal city locations ever, and so based off of what he had to work with, I think that Lagos is probably an amazing city location. Okay, and yet despite all these drawbacks, like, he still managed to get an army with 3 units in it, like right by Bergen here. I'm just gonna attack here. Okay, I'm just gonna go around and see. Oh, his king was in a okay, I'm just glad I didn't have like I'm glad I didn't okay, I'm glad I didn't have like submarines out, but then I realized I actually didn't have the res for submarines anyways. But like, see, it was one of us, I think Liv asked me to try and hook uranium, but I didn't. So, okay. Worker, explorer. I'm gonna shift enter. Okay, him. Okay, I'm not gonna get a good idea of what his cap is, like, simply because this would be if Liv nuked him. Where is his king? So I'm gonna go to military advisor by unit, find his king. Oh, he's off on a mountain. That's probably smart. He has marines. Bergen. Yeah. Doesn't have very many units left. Which makes sense considering the fact that he was sandwiched between 2 enemies. So that is how it goes. Like, that sucks. Like, honestly, the press probably had a very exciting game, but also I feel sad because it's like, that's a sucky game. That's a sucky position to be stuck in. just going to go check to see. Okay, doesn't show him as having any res, so. Okay, I'm gonna shift enter and go see Clown Worlds. Okay. He was finishing a bank. So he has granary, factory, hydro plant, commercial market, 24 per turn. So I think if I understand correctly, that means I was behind manufactured goods compared to lib. So he had decent shields. It looks like he was out of wartime, so he would have had really good shields in wartime. Let me see in terms of trade. Oh, he had oil, but he didn't have like rubber hooked. Okay, and his queen king unit is in Orleans. I can't remember quite how it's supposed to be said. French pronunciation is not my strong suit at all. Avignon. Okay, let me just go to Cap and cycle through that way. Okay, Orleans is working on a factory. That's good. Leon's bomber. That doesn't have very many shields. So he doesn't necessarily have a lot of shields. He has oil, which is very, very helpful. But he doesn't necessarily have a lot of shields to work with. How many workers does he have? Units. 7 workers. So was he getting attacked a lot? Because he was getting bombed up here. I shouldn't be criticizing them, because even though I like had all game to grow and stuff and had good shields and good units, it's like they weren't in position to actually do anything. So like even like I'm just thinking, like looking here, realizing how few boats that the enemies had. It's like I literally, if they don't have destroyers out, I thought they had like ton of destroyers out. If like the clown didn't, I should have literally just voted over like one army. And like actually, do I have, I'm not sure if that would fit, because 2, actually I think that would have fit in a galleon. I should have just voted over like one single tow army in a galleon and seen if I could have done anything. That might have been fun. Okay. And I think that's all. So, yeah. Let me turn this off. Thank you so very much. Let's see. I want to put this in the background. So yeah, thank you very, very much for watching me stream Civ 3 Multiplayer Fut. I hope that you had a very enjoyable time watching this. I had a lot of fun, and I hope that this like inspires you to pick up this game, because I feel like the Civ 3 community could definitely do with more people to play multiplayer with. So yeah, I hope that you have a good evening. Bye!